Hey everybody, today I'm talking about new varieties of annuals for 2025, and this is going to be a lot of fun because these new varieties are absolutely beautiful. And the good news is that I'm not only going to show you the marketing photos of these plants, I'm going to show you as many photos as I can from the trial gardens, because I think seeing those is really going to give you an idea what they look like in real life versus these marketing photos, because they always look perfect in a marketing photo. So I'm going to start with CALIBRACHOA, and there's a definite trend in CALIBRACHOA right now where the bicolor or multiple colored CALIBRACHOAs, they're just the hottest thing. It's really clear, especially when you see these new varieties. The first one I'm going to start with is the Cha-Cha Electric Pink CALIBRACHOA. This one is really beautiful. You notice that great contrast between the pink and the white, and then that little bit of a yellow throat. And I absolutely love the Cha-Cha series. It gets nice and big and full, lots of flowers. It's been a really reliable variety for us. It is a little bit harder to come by though. So that's one of the downfalls of the Cha-Cha series. Not everybody carries it. It's not available usually at the big box stores or anything like that. But there are a couple of other varieties that have a similar pattern that are really nice, like the Superbells Holy Cow. That one's got a very similar pattern, maybe not quite the crisp edges that you see. It might be a little bit smaller than this one. And then there's Candy Shop Fancy Berry. That's another one that's kind of similar. And then there's another new one that has just come out called the MiniFamous Uno Starfruit. And I saw this one in the trial gardens. This is another one that's really beautiful. I love the way the flower is. It's got this really smooth gradient transition in it, covered in beautiful blooms. Only thing is that the Uno series is a little bit smaller. So the Cha-Cha series, nice and big, Uno series more compact. And then there's a whole new series of CALIBRACHOA that have come out called the Calilocos. And these are by the same people who put together the Crazytunias. And Crazytunias are known for having all those kind of crazy patterns, stripes, different contrasts, really unique colors. They're trying to do the same thing with the CALIBRACHOAs, and I think they've got a really nice basis for this with the plants that they have. So we'll take a look at some of these. They have at least 20 different varieties in here. There may even be more. Now they took this opportunity to take some of the standalone varieties of CALIBRACHOAs and bring them into the Caliloco family, because I recognize a couple of them like Dracula. I think Mirage is one that I've seen before. The Firewalker. There's a couple others in this series that have been around for a while, but now they've given them a home here in the Caliloco family. And look at the color combinations. A lot of bicolors in here. In fact, I think all of them have more than one color in them. Really unique patterns on them, distinct colors. And when I saw these in the trial gardens, I was very, very impressed, because each one that I saw was this beautiful mounded habit. They were very large. I think most of the containers that they showed would have had 4 or 5 plants in a 16-inch container. So they were pretty packed full of plants, which would help contribute to that beautiful coverage. But the flowers were absolutely stunning on each one that I saw. I didn't see every single one of these, but the ones that I did see were just beautiful. I'm really impressed with this series, and we had to pick just 4 varieties from these because we just don't have the room, we don't have the space to have every single one of the Calilocos, even though we would love to have them. So the ones that we chose were the Frankenberry. The colors on this are really dynamic, that really dark pink with that lighter rim. Absolutely stunning. That Dreamland, that one was really nice. Had this really actually dreamy, calming kind of color combination with those purples and lilacs and kind of a bluey pink color in there as well. Starfire orange, just a nice orange with that yellow kind of striping going on. And then Mirage, another really great pink. And you look how there's like 3 distinct shades of pink in there. And then you have that yellow throat right in the middle. So this is a fantastic series. Really impressed with it. Happy to see it. Another new series is Eyecatcher. And these all have the darker eyes or darker centers in them. And there's a whole bunch of beautiful colors in here. When we were choosing which ones we'd have, we wanted to pick ones that had represented colors that we didn't have a lot of. So we went with the blue, which has that beautiful kind of light, pale, purpley color in it with that darker throat. And then the Sunspot, because that orange and yellow contrast, really nice, really bright, really hot. And this is another series that got really big. In fact, I think these got a little bit bigger than what I saw in a lot of the Calilocos and a lot of other varieties as well. So it's really quite a vigorous, full variety, lots of flowers on it, so no problem there. And they just look absolutely fantastic. The next one comes from Proven Winners, and this is the Superbells Double Vintage Coral. And this is one beautiful CALIBRACHOA, and you might recognize it or you might not. This is one that they were actually going to release last year, but they had some production problems with it, and so only a couple people got them, and so not everybody got to see them. So now they're doing like an official launch this year, and the color on this one is like no other CALIBRACHOA. It's got that beautiful peachy yellowy orangey kind of center, and then the veining and the rim has this little glow of kind of more of a burgundy or purpley color. Really gorgeous, really unique combination. I think you're going to be able to put this with a lot of different things and it's going to look fantastic. And I will say this plant performs really well. Lots of flowers, really full. It'll fill out a container really nicely as well. So this is one that I really strongly recommend. They have another new Superbells out here called the Superbells Double Smitten Pink. And that one, same thing happened where it was released last year, but now they're officially releasing it this year. That one, on the other hand, I've seen it in a couple trial gardens where it wasn't performing quite as well as I would have liked. It was a little bit small, especially compared to other Superbells. So that's one that beautiful flowers, and I have seen some containers with it that it looked absolutely gorgeous, and I saw some other ones where it was a little wimpy, I'm gonna say. So I'm wondering if maybe that's why it was delayed a year. I'm hoping that what's come out now is gonna be a little bit better. Now I wanna bring on the COLEUS, and the first one I'm gonna talk about is the Flamethrower Adobo Pink, and this one is so beautiful. And pink is really a hot color right now in COLEUS, and this one really nails it because it has that beautiful bright pink center, a dark kind of burgundy edge on it, and the Flamethrower series is really nice. It has more of that fiery kind of leaf to it, so it does kind of shimmer a little bit. Really, really a beautiful one, and I'm a little disappointed because our order just came in from the company that we get these from, and this was missing from the order, so I had to report it as a loss. I'm hoping that maybe there's a chance they can send it, and because we have one more shipment from them coming next week, fingers crossed. But I'm going to really be disappointed if this one isn't there, because this is one I was really absolutely looking forward to. So hopefully it comes in. If you can find it, definitely go for it. It's really a nice series, and I really do love the color on this one. It filled out so nice. It was just like these big kind of pom-poms, and they were giant. So really, really nice. Another interesting one is the charged up Marble Mania COLEUS, and look at the speckling pattern on this. Really interesting, high contrast, great shape to this one too. It's a rather large COLEUS, so don't expect this little tiny ball. It's going to get a decent size, easy to take care of, just one I'm really looking forward to. And we also got another one from that series, the Charged Up Indian Summer, and that one's been around a little while, but I really love the colors on it. It has that multicolor, but it doesn't have the speckling. It's a little more splotchy, I'd say, but another really nice, beautiful one. I think it was last season that the Downtown series of COLEUS had been released. And this is another really well-performing variety. It's a little bit smaller than the Main Street series, so a little more manageable, has more of those kind of fiery, flamey, fireworky type of leaves. And if you really want color, I'm gonna say the Miami Magic is really interesting because it has a little bit more of a blonde look to it with a little bit of green and pink in it. And then the Santa Monica, really nice pink with speckles. And then there's another one, can't remember the name, it's something like Vegas Nights or something like that. And that one has really high contrast, bright colors in it as well. But the New York Lights is an interesting one because it has that really dark leaf and then the speckling pattern on it as well. So interesting patterns and colors on this one. Definitely different looking from a lot of the other COLEUS that are out there. Now in Angelonia, there's some new series out there as well, and the first one I want to talk about is the Guardian Angel series, and this one is a much taller, nice upright variety. It's going to be a little bit like the Angelface family from Proven Winners. This Guardian Angel one though, the blue is so fantastic, and I saw it growing side by side with the Angelface, and this one actually had more flower stalks. They were a little bit more upright. It was really a gorgeous one. Now they have another color called Guardian Angel Berry Sparkler. Now this one doesn't get quite as big as the regular blue, but it does have a really unique bicolor feature to it. Now the Angelonia that everyone is talking about is the Angelflare Black, and this is by far the blackest Angelonia you're going to ever find. It's one of the blackest flowers out there as well. It's such a dark purple that it definitely looks very, very black. And this is more of kind of a mounding, almost trailing variety. It kind of flares out in a way that other Angelonia don't. It doesn't get quite as big as, say, the Guardian Angel series, but really, really nice. There's also some other colors. The Cranberry is really nice and dark and rich, kind of a pinky red color. And I think there's an Orchid one as well. And they at the trial gardens, they had mixed, oh, and I think there's a white as well. They had mixed 3 of the colors, and you can see really beautiful how those just kind of spill out, and those are really good bloomers. Angelonia does tend to like the heat, so that those come on later on in the season, more in July and into August and September. They look really good. So really great varieties here. And Proven Winners is bringing us a gorgeous new Angelonia called Angelface Wedgwood pink, and they already have the Angelface Wedgwood blue. This pink is such a beautiful light pink color. It's one of the nicest pinks out there. It's one that I really like, and the bicolor is really a nice addition as well. So good addition from Proven Winners. Now in begonias, there's one that I'm really excited about, and it's a new one from Proven Winners called Space Age Black Hole. And I absolutely love how this one looks. It's got that beautiful coloring on it, but it's also a really nice, vigorous, healthy plant. So it fills out containers quite nicely. Also, this is one that you can bring inside. In the Space Age series, there are two other varieties that they're bringing on, the Space Age Europa and the Space Age Triton. Both are beautiful, but I really think it's the black hole that steals the show. Another new begonia, this one from the big series of wax begonias, and this is the big white bronze leaf wax begonia. And this one has that nice, dark, rich leaf with those pure white petals on it. This is a great contrast one. Black petals are really popular right now because they are so different when you put them in next to, any of your other colors that you have in the garden. So it's a nice contrast, really beautiful plant as well. Gets a nice size, and you might not know this, but the big family of begonias is actually kind of the trial grounds for the surefire begonias from Proven Winners. At least that's been the case with some of their other colors. So this could be a little preview of what Proven Winners might be bringing to the Surefire series, but the bigs, I definitely would recommend those, and I think those might be available from seed as well. So if you're a seed starter, this might be one to consider. Now with CANNA, there's one that stands above them all. This is the Cannova Golden Leopard. I absolutely love the petals on this. I love the speckling. I love that beautiful golden yellow with that nice orange in there. Everything about this plant is beautiful. It gets nice and big. It looks great in containers. It goes really well in the landscape as well. You can put it in so many different places, and it just creates this beautiful torch wherever you put it. And those nice, dark, rich green leaves, they just look absolutely gorgeous. This is one of my favorites, hands down. I'm definitely going to be planting this in some of my containers. I absolutely love this one. Now, this next plant is one that isn't necessarily new, but it's definitely new to us, and it's new to some of our growers. So this is the first time we've had a chance to try it. And it's a plant called, I hope I get this pronunciation right, abutilon. There's so many different ways it could be said. This is the Lucky Lantern Yellow, and this is just a plant that is supposed to be quite vigorous, gets nice and big and full. I mean, it's not huge, but it definitely fills out really nice. It's supposed to have a lot of blooms as well. So I'm looking forward to trying that one out. This is definitely one that is just something new for us, and it does pretty well in part shade as well. So that's another plus with this one, to be able to get that bright yellow color in a shady spot. Can't beat it. So we're going to give this one a go. I'll definitely be planting this up in some containers to show you guys how it does. I did not see this one in the trial garden, so I don't know how it really does. So this one's a bit of a mystery to me, but I am looking forward to giving it a go. Proven Winners is also bringing us an Eyecatcher, and this one's called Emerald Isle. And I only got to see one that was kind of small when I saw them, but it looked really great. The nice, thick leaves on it, really quite large leaves. So I can imagine this one's going to get a really nice size. Like I said, the one that I saw it in September, and it was still in this little tiny container. And the person from Proven Winners who was showing it to me said, "I'm really sorry. Like, this should have been potted up months ago, but we've been kind of using it for a display, but it just keeps going and going." So even in a small pot without much resources, that thing was still going, still quite beautiful, all things considered. I mean, the situation that it was in was less than favorable. I can only imagine it's going to be beautiful in a nice big container. And in general, Eyecatcher get quite large. So this is going to be a real winner. And then there's also a Colocasia that's out, and I didn't get to see this one in person, but everybody is talking about it. So I'm looking forward to, we're supposed to be getting it in, so I'm looking forward to seeing it in person. It's called the Royal Hawaiian Waikiki Colocasia. And take a look. There's like 3 colors in there. You got the pink, you got that kind of cream color, and then that green on the edge. This is such a beauty. I mean, this is going to stand out, and Colocasia in general get nice and large. So this is the one that I'm so looking forward to. And I'm just really a fan of how that leaf pattern is and that color on it. This one's already won several awards, so this is one to look out for. I'm quite a fan of Kufia, especially like the Vermillionaire Kufia, and also like the Honey Bells and Sugar Bells. Those are all just really beautiful hummingbird magnet type of plants. They absolutely love them. They also call them cigar plants. Well, there's a new one out, and it's called Presidente Cubano Kufia. And this one looks a lot like Vermillionaire from Proven Winners. So it might be very, very similar. It's, according to the measurements that they show, doesn't get quite as big, but when I saw it in the trial gardens, it was a pretty big plant. So it gets a nice size. Again, this is one of those hummingbird magnets. So if you want hummingbirds drawn to your garden, go with a Kufi, especially these trumpet-shaped ones like this, the cigar-shaped flowers. They absolutely love those. So go for it. This one is definitely, I saw it this year and I saw it last year. And if I remember correctly, when I saw it for the first time, I thought maybe the flowers were maybe a little bit more red or a little bit more intense than Vermillionaire, but now my memory is a little funny on that. But it is a beautiful plant. I remember writing it down 2 years ago when I had first seen it. Now it's available, it's on the market now. So we made sure to get that one. I don't usually get too excited about spikes, and we've tried a couple different colors like the magenta ones and little bicolor ones, but the kiwi spike is one that I really do like, and we actually just got it in. I can show you, it's right here behind me, and it has some beautiful, beautiful colors on it. So it's got a little bit of magenta on the rim, then it goes to a dark green, and then to a really nice bright green on the center. It's a stunning variety, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'm glad they came in nice and big. So they still have a couple months yet to grow. These are going to be a nice size when we open to the public. So this is, again, that kiwi spike, really, really nice. So last winter I had bought my first Gerber daisies. I had ordered my QVC. I did a whole video about what that was all about, and I absolutely fell in love with those flowers. They were so beautiful. Then I go to the trial gardens at DGI down in downstate Michigan, and they had a variety of Gerber daisies. I'll put it on the screen, I don't remember the exact name, and they were stunning. They were so beautiful, and when I was talking to them there, they were like, they haven't been hard to grow, they've been really disease resistant, so they're really, really nice. Unfortunately, when I go to the catalog, I have to buy like 50 of each color, and that's really not an option for us. We could not, I mean, we could get 50, that's it, so to get 50 of all one color is quite a commitment, especially for a plant that we haven't really grown before. So I talked to them, I said, look, we can't do that, so if I were to get one of the mixes, because they did have mixed Gerber daisies, but they didn't have that variety. I said, okay, which one is going to, perform well and give me what I'm looking for? Because I fell in love with the other ones, but I'm going to have to take this mix. And they did recommend the Maxi Black Center Gerber daisy. Nice collection of colors, beautiful flowers on there. So I haven't seen this in person, but it comes from like a very personal recommendation from my friends over at DGI, and they said, look, give this a go. You shouldn't have any problem with them. I think people are going to love them, and so I'm looking forward to it. I still am wishing I could get the ones that I had seen because they were just so nice and big and full. So I'm hoping these will come. My expectations are high, so we'll see how this goes. I'm going to finish up on dahlias because there's a couple new varieties that I'm really looking forward to. So there's one called Miss Mandy, and this is a nice kind of peachy apricot color, absolutely beautiful, and it is large. The plant is large, the flowers are really full and gorgeous. I was really impressed with this one everywhere I saw it. So this is a really nice dahlia, and when I saw these, it was the end of July and beginning of August. So they were doing great all through the whole season. They had been outside in these pots, I think, since like the first or second week of June. So, they had gone through the whole summer. Absolutely beautiful. Proven Winners has come out with a new line of dahlias, and they're the Virtuoso series. And I saw them in 2 different places, and they were looking pretty good. Now, some of them were kind of fading out by the time I had seen them, and this was in early August. So some of them had kind of been on their way out, but the ones that were planted in the ground at Michigan State University were still looking pretty good. I was pretty impressed with how those were doing. So we did add 3 of the colors to our lineup. So we added Classy Carmine, Rad Raz, and Pinkerific, Pinkerific. Nice variety. They got a decent size as well. There is another series out there that really impressed me, and it was the Karma series. And my absolute favorite was the Karma, I think it was called Blue Lagoon. This one was so beautiful in its color. The plant was just covered in blooms as well. And there's several colors in there. I think there's like 10 colors or something like that. There's a lot of different colors. They're kind of all your favorite dahlia colors as well. So a lot of them have a little bit of a bicolor to them. A couple of them are solid. I really also like the Karma Amanda Violet White bicolor. That one was really quite nice. That's one that we'll be carrying from that series. Blue Lagoon we weren't able to get. They had to cancel it on us. So I was a little bummed because I really wanted to share that plant with everybody. Because if you're going to go with one of the Karmas, I think Blue Lagoon was the one just from what I saw. But again, all the colors I was impressed with, but these are the 2, the Amanda and the Blue Lagoon. Those were 2 that I really did like those better. I even have a special 2026 preview for you because I have one dahlia that doesn't actually come out until 2026, but I saw that one of our growers did have it as kind of a special preview where we could test it out if we wanted to, a very limited supply. So I called them right away and said, any chance you can get us a couple of them? And they said, we can get you some. And this one is called the Vente Pink Burst Dahlia, and this one is absolutely stunning. All the pictures I've seen of it, it's nice and full, but I want you to look at the flowers on it because it is different than a lot of the other dahlias. Has those beautiful kind of palm in the center and then the more open petals around the back. Really, really gorgeous. I'm so looking forward to actually seeing this one in person. I can't believe that we're actually going to have it right here where we can enjoy it, and we're going to be able to see it first. And you can be one of the first to have this one in your garden as well if you shop with us. So this is one that I really, really am excited about. Again, not actually going to be released until 2026, but we did get an early release version of it. So this is going to be a lot of fun to be able to test this one out. I love being able to test them out, before they actually are out there. I just wonder if we have feedback, if they're going to be like, oh yeah, that, I don't know. Well, anyway, doesn't matter. I'm looking forward to this, and I'm looking forward to all these other ones. I'm only halfway through my list, so I still have a lot more to go, but I'm going to divide this one up into 2 videos because I need to take a little break. We've got lots of plants that came in today that we're going to have to get potted up, so we need to get going on that, but I just wanted to put this video together for you so that you could enjoy some of these new varieties and start looking for them. I know new varieties are tricky because they might not be easily available to you, and so you might have to hunt around a little bit, but at least you'll know them when you see them. And if you do see them, I would recommend grabbing them up. There are hundreds of other varieties that I haven't mentioned. I'm just kind of giving you my favorites on this video here. So thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate your comments. I would love to hear which ones have kind of piqued your interest and that you're going to be on the lookout for. And if you see one plant that you don't think you're going to be able to find, maybe there are some alternatives. So ask at your local nursery, hey, this is what I like. Show them the picture because they may not know some of these new varieties, and maybe they'll be able to suggest something that's going to be similar or something that's going to hit the same buttons that you're trying to hit, or have the same the same goals that you have. That I do recommend checking with your local garden center to see what they do have, because they may have some other varieties that I don't even know about. So always a possibility. So you guys, you have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys very, very soon.